All right. We are live now. This is Indy Talk with Jesse and Jeryn. Just me this time, though, but featuring the notorious Ryan Cruz. How's it going, Ryan?
Not too bad, man. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I know before we were talking, I on the last show, I did say Jesse was going to be on the show, but he ran into some stuff. So I'm going to do another solo show, this time with Mr. Ryan Cruz. So,
All right,
yeah.
one-on-one instead of a handicap match. That's all right by me.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we can get right into it. How did you start watching wrestling, and how did you talk about your early career as well?
Yeah. Gosh. Going back to when I was 4-ish years old, my grandpa. We would just sit and watch wrestling on the weekends together. We were kind of famous amongst our family for just having a big old plate of bacon, and we would just sit and eat a plate full of bacon as we watched pro wrestling. It was
Oh,
kind of
man.
a sweet little Saturday morning for a 4 and 5 year old. So yeah,
Mhm.
that started me early. The first ever pay per view I ever watched was 1992 SummerSlam from Wembley Stadium. That was Bret Hart and British Bulldog was the main event there. That's I think what really turned a like of pro wrestling into a love of pro wrestling there for me. And so yeah, it just kind of continued on. My parents kind of thought it would maybe be a phase that I would be so into pro wrestling for a long time, but
Mhm.
continued on into college when I learned of a professional wrestling school in Maple Grove, Minnesota. Well, Rogers, Minnesota, just outside Maple Grove. It's called Midwest Pro Wrestling. And
Mhm.
so I went there, trained under Eric Cannon and a couple other trainers, Sheriff Johnny Emerald and Shifty Dan Schaffner. Uh, and yeah, trained there, and just kind of the snowball of pro wrestling life happened there. A lot of really good things happened really quickly for me, and Midwest Pro Wrestling shut down shortly after I kind of became an active wrestler. I think within a year or so. So I was forced to go on the road, and I was on the road for a long time, doing a lot of shows on the East Coast and kind of all over the Midwest.
Mhm.
Having the time of my life in college, man, it was awesome.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think I talked to a lot of wrestlers on here. They're always like, "Oh yeah, my parents think it's like, hopefully it's just like a phase. They'll get out of this wrestling stuff," and they never do. So,
Yeah, no, totally. And before my first match, I'd sent out like this mass email to a bunch of family members and friends that kind of lived in the metro. And I got a call from my great uncle who was just like, "You idiot. You're going to get dropped on your head and you're going to be a paraplegic and, no one's going to ever come visit you in your home." Like, wow, thanks, Uncle Bob. But he was kind of crazy. I wish I would have had that on still recorded somewhere, but that was like my third cell phone ever, which was 20 years ago almost at this point.
oh man, mm, wow.
Yeah, I'm not so young anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's yeah. You've wrestled the wild. How long have you been wrestling again?
Yeah, actually last month I hit 18 years. My
Oh,
first match was actually against Darren Corbin in April of 2004.
oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
It's been a
18 years.
long damn time. Yeah, 18 years. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. My wrestling career can vote now. It's old enough to vote.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And 18 years of being dropped on your head, I guess.
Yeah, it dropped on my head, my back, my head some more. It's been a bumpy road, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did you come up with the nickname Notorious?
That one's actually a pretty blatant ripoff of a very famous MMA fighter named Conor McGregor.
Oh,
His moniker is Notorious Conor McGregor, and early on in his career, and then when he first came to UFC, I was a very big Conor McGregor fan. I'd have all of his fights. Either I'd go to some bar and watch him, or I had some people over actually for the boxing match against Floyd Mayweather. I was all about Conor McGregor for a real long time, and then he kept getting into trouble, and
mm,
just he's not really a fantastic example of a good human being as of late. So it's harder and harder to like him, but I still really like the moniker Notorious. It just it's a fun one, which, you know, blatant ripoff, but everything's a ripoff these days.
Yeah, I guess pretty much at this. Yeah, and you got the whole Notorious theme song as well to match that. So
Yeah, I threw in a little bit of a soundbite of Notorious B.I.G. before my entrance music. So yeah, it's a nice little homage to the original Notorious.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we already got a comment now. Mr. Leonard Literacy says one of the best in Minnesota to ever do it.
Oh, Leonard Literacy, what a nice guy. What a sweet fella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Still the kind of guy you want to smack around, but a nice fella.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. Leonard, awesome guy, awesome wrestler, and it's crazy to think. I mean, he's been wrestling almost as long too, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's been around for a long time too. It's crazy to think of how, you know, time is so crazy. It's like you know, you look backwards 18 years over an 18-year career. It's like, wow, it goes by so fast. But you look 18 years in the future, it's like, wow, that's so far away. But no, it goes just as fast forward. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Definitely. Um, who is your favorite opponent that helped you become better in the ring?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Favorite opponent. I had really good matches with Arya Davari before he first got signed to WWE. He and I had a lot of really good matches together. I always learn something every time I wrestle with Cannon, Eric Cannon. That is, I've had countless matches against him over the years. Same with Darren Corbin. You know, you kind of learn something from everybody you work with, but yeah, I would say those three I wrestled the most frequent and learned a whole heck of a lot from.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, awesome names right there, and yeah, I mean Davari, yeah, right, even before he was WWE, he was a awesome wrestler, and went back and watched some footage, and he definitely is awesome. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. There's a reason he got to WWE. You know, he
mm,
wasn't just great there. He was great for a reason. And yeah,
yeah, yeah, and yeah, as of recently, I've got to see him live. I think I first saw him at it was well actually yeah AEW Full Gear. Or no, not full AEW Rampage. He faced Dante Martin in a singles match. I think it was like kind of a dark match during that show, but yeah, I mean, yeah, awesome wrestler. I got to see him then, and then First Wrestling and Time Bomb Wrestling. So yeah, it's
yeah,
awesome.
he's definitely making the rounds. It's nice to have him back on the Indies, but it was still really cool to see him in WWE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did pretty good in WWE and the whole Cruiserweight Classic. I know that didn't do a whole lot, but I mean, he did great in that. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He did well for himself for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of first wrestling again, WrestlePalooza is coming back on June 19th in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and just a throwback. In 2017, you faced Darren Corbin for the control of the WrestlePalooza Tag Team Championship. You talk a little bit about that.
That was a fun storyline. That was a very fun match. We beat the crap out of one another. It was in front of, you know, another one of WrestlePalooza's sold out crowds. It's always fun to be at First Ave. It's by far one of my favorite venues to wrestle in front of. One of my favorite crowds to wrestle in front of. But that match was just so much fun because Darren and I we trained together. We broke into wrestling together. We spent, gosh, I'd say a decade, maybe a little over a decade as a tag team together. So having it all culminate in front of a sold out crowd at First Avenue for First Wrestling, it was a real fun match, real special match.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was looking back and yeah, oh yeah, I saw you and Darren Corbin tag team champions, and then looked like you had the storyline and just going based off the posters, but I mean, it looked like it was a pretty good storyline and good tag team runs. So yeah,
Yeah, it was definitely a great run. Probably one of the better runs for tag teams in the Midwest, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Leonard Literacy in the chat says, I think my favorite moment with Cruz is him wrestling against Casanova, and he fought over to the music guy. He unplugged his theme song that kept playing through his matches. Then it played again with no power.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I do not remember that, but that does not mean it did not happen.
Mm-hmm. The crazy thing that must happen. Yeah, yeah. I think I've heard Casanova the name a few times on the show. So
Yeah,
yeah.
he's another MPW guy. Well, he wrestled a lot of MPW shows when I was first coming into the business, and yeah, he's a heck of a guy. His character was fantastic, so super entertaining. Yeah, just a quality human.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I definitely got to go watch some of his stuff because I mean, it seems like he was a great wrestler and great at what he did. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah. We got Ken Reckinger in the chat. He says, "I remember the MIW, and I believe that's still right." Oh no, he means MPW. Okay, yeah. He says, he remembers the MPW days. So yeah.
Yeah, those were good days. There are a lot of good Minnesota guys came out of MPW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. What was the atmosphere like for MPW, and how was it working there?
It was a lot of young wrestlers first kind of breaking their way into the business. It was a wrestling school, so guys kind of honing their craft, learning a character at the same time. So it was very kind of basic in a lot of ways. It excelled in having a cool venue, a dedicated venue for it. The built-in school was great. They really cared about about the trainees, and you were getting quality learnings, quality teachings from quality coaches. They were bringing in other wrestlers that could really advance people's learnings and stuff. They brought in AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, a whole slew of guys from the East Coast and Jakara. Mike Quackenbush, Chris Hero, Eddie Kingston. So a lot of these guys who are really making or have made big waves in pro wrestling were coming through and sharing their knowledge with it. So it was a great place to really get a good base learning of pro wrestling, but have the opportunities to meet all these other proven talents within the sport of pro wrestling to advance. And there was as much there to do as you wanted, basically. Like they would never tell you no if you wanted to train more. So it was a great place to start. And I owe all 18 years of my pro wrestling career to that foundation at MPW. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty much a good creative free reign over there, or they understood.
Yeah, they really allowed you to create your character. They would mold you. They would work with you on what you wanted, and kind of give you the freedom to take this ball and run with it. But they would just, again, were so great about guiding you along the way and really giving you a why behind the what we're doing. It was the psychology was there as well. It wasn't just here's how you do all these moves. Here's why you do these moves.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh yeah. Ken thinks Horse the Psychopath started there. Was that correct? Or
I don't know if he trained there. I don't believe so.
okay.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to say it with 100% accuracy, but I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. Leonard Literacy says again, do you have a funny road story?
Ooh, a funny road story. Hmm. Gosh, there's so many to choose from. Um, we were, we were driving from, I don't even know. I think it was somewhere in Chicago to Michigan, or vice versa. But we had Jimmy Jacobs. We had a couple of different cars, but Jimmy Jacobs was in a car, the car ahead of us, and the person that was driving this vehicle happened to be of the sort of uptight type, uptight, and only had specific scheduled stops of where he would allow everybody to, urinate or get a snack or what have you. And so this forced Jimmy to pee into a cup in the back of the car. And there was some other interaction between that vehicle and this giant truck that was driving. And so Jimmy was in the back and antagonizing this truck, and ended up throwing the container with the urine at the truck. Oh. And so then the truck is like, we're trying to not even jokingly, but steering their truck towards this car where the uptight driver's just like freaking out, trying not to get run off the road by this thing that he's not even really involved with. All the while I'm sitting back in the car behind witnessing this hilarity, but still kind of scared at the same time. But when everyone was okay at the end, it became really funny.
Oh man.
Yeah. Throwing a can of pee at a truck is probably not a good idea, but here's to Jimmy Jacobs for that.
Yeah, Jimmy Jacobs. Yeah. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, Jimmy Jacobs has definitely had some interesting stories from his interviews that he's done on the somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but yeah, he's interesting guy, interesting stories.
Yes. So. Yeah, he's an interesting character for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, great creative guy too. I think he did some backstage stuff, and I mean, wrestler obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a great mind for wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else is going on? What's on there? Oh yeah. So last summer, you were the Minnesota Independent Wrestling MIW champion, and unfortunately, you lost it to PD Brown on July 2nd. But what was it like working with PD that night?
That was a fun night. It was one of the, if I remember right, it was one of the first kind of bigger shows. It was right by the 4th of July. So there was this big crowd who was just itching to be entertained. So it was a really, really fun night. I was the heel of the match, so that's always really fun, and everybody always loves PD, on his dance parties. He's really good at getting the crowd going. So the match was fun. It had kind of a messed up finish. I believe some type of run in or interference or something like that. I can't quite remember. But yeah, it was a fun match. It was a fun night. It was a good show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that was about second or third show being back from COVID-19, watching with the COVID and everything. I think January 2020 I only saw one show as a Steel Domain MEW collab show, whole year of that, then come back for June for an MIW show previous to that show. And yeah, this also I think it's first time seeing MIWs, so yeah.
Okay, nice. Cool.
Yeah. I believe it was the first time I ever saw you wrestle. I'm like, the notorious Ryan Cruz coming out, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I didn't disappoint.
No, it was an awesome match, and you came out in that whole jumpsuit. I'm like, this guy's got something.
Yeah, that's I say it's made by Gucci, but it's actually from Ragstock.
That's for the character. You got to say Gucci. So
absolutely.
Yeah. It was great match. And talked to PD after. He said, "Yeah, you were awesome to work with that night." So yeah,
awesome. Yeah, I like PD. He's a good guy.
Yeah. What do you look for when accepting bookings?
It's really about being put in a quality match. At 18 years at this point, I definitely have no problem staying home if it's so far away, or if the money's not going to be there. or if it's, it's an opponent that I particularly may not feel safe with or may not want to work with. There's very few that that's ever really happened with. But I'm always kind of particular with who I'm working with at this point, because after 18 years, my body's not bumped out, but I definitely have far more bumps behind me than I do in front of me. So it's just about being smart with my body and listening to my body, and and just making sure that I'm still having fun with it. As long as I'm still having fun with whatever the potential booking is going to be, then I'm all for it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, oh yeah, Leonard. Going back to the jumpsuit, literacy says don't let him fool you. That outfit is 100% Versace.
He gets it. He gets it.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man, I lost my voice for a sec. Wow.
Puberty's a hell of a thing.
Well, yeah, that's true. Oh man, yeah, that was a weird thing to go from during I mean, I guess I'm still doing it. So puberty is always a weird thing. So
yep.
yeah. Oh yeah. We've had him on 2 times, but we've had former Midwest wrestler Cody O'Neill on the show a few times. Do you have any good memories or stories about him?
Oh gosh, yeah, I've got a lot of good memories of Cody O'Neill. He and we hit it off pretty well when we first started wrestling. He was kind of in a negative mind space about pro wrestling. Both he and his tag partner at the time, Aaron Corbin, and then Darren and I were in the infancy of our tag team together, and we got put in a program with them at MPW. So we were doing a lot of tag matches with them. But after the first one specifically, something just clicked, and we all had like a really good chemistry, really good match, and their attitudes completely did a 180. So we worked a lot of matches together, and of course Aaron and Darren became really close, and then Cody and I became really close. I was at his wedding, he was at my wedding. I'm the godfather of his son, so yeah, we definitely go way back, and we definitely have a pretty deep relationship.
Okay. Yeah. I wish I would have got to see Cody O'Neill back in the day wrestle, but I mean, from looking at his,
he was good.
He was awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was really good, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Aaron Corbin, I've seen him for years now. I've seen him. I think he was one of the first guys I started watching in Steel Domain Wrestling, and then also the yearly Under the Big Top shows, and just awesome wrestler, awesome on the mic, just getting the crowd into it and everything. So yeah,
he's a fun guy. He's an entertaining guy. He plays his part really well. He's very good at playing the heel and getting a crowd really riled up. It's when he's free to do whatever he pleases, it can get really entertaining really fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And my dad keep going back to it as well. But I think one of my dad and I's favorite promo he did, he was talking about kids and Fortnite. So at the time, I was curious to talk about that because
pretty
Fortnite
spot on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's good with the quibs like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just he's able to adapt to any crowd, and it's awesome how he does it. So
yeah, absolutely. He's a great entertainer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Going back to the MPW stuff, you said AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels. How much of an interaction did you have with those guys?
Well, Christopher Daniels was there before I was. Actually, he and AJ Styles had come before, probably a month or two before I first started training, but AJ Styles came back. So I started training in February of 2004. He came back in November of 2004. He ran a training seminar that day. So I got to do a little bit of interaction with him, mostly partner work under his instruction. But yeah, getting direct instruction from him, which was fantastic, especially, I'm only 9 months in at this point. So all of pro wrestling is still like so new to me, and I'm still like just grinning from ear to ear all the time. And then here comes in AJ Styles, so I'm completely geeking out. So he runs the training seminar, but I actually got to be in a match with him on that show that night. I was in a 4-way match. It was him, Kid Crazy, Joey Envy, and myself. He was the MPW champion at the time. So yeah, I got to be in a match with him. It was pretty surreal to be 9 months in and already having a match that involved AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Having a match with AJ Styles best. I mean, besides his popularity, just like the technical wrestling that he has and how he brings or how he how he carries himself in the ring is just awesome. So
yeah, he just brings an intensity to it, and just getting to see it so close up, like having a literal front row seat to watching AJ Styles, one of the best to ever do it, was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, definitely. Master of offense and innovation, as they say. So
yeah, he's come up with some real crazy shit over the years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else we got? We got Chavo in the chat. He's a videographer, production guy. He says, "What non-wrestling things / people have influenced your in-ring character work?"
Oh gosh, that's a really good question as well. Well, again, I have to go back to the Conor McGregor. I kind of tried to harness some of his just kind of real cocky attitude, but like cocky swagger. I try to take a little bit from him. Gosh, there's so much influence. Jim Carrey is one of my favorite actors of all time, so I've taken a lot of my facial expression and kind of selling cues from him. Wow. Yeah, those are probably the two that come to mind right away.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anything outside of wrestling should help your in-ring character work, because then it brings a difference and something different or something cool to the table. So yeah.
Absolutely, it's all about mixing it up.
Yeah. Looking on Instagram here, current MAW heavyweight champion, the system, says Ryan Cruz GOAT. So yeah.
What a heck of a guy.
Have you had many?
I'm all about the system.
You're all about you trust the system.
I trust the system.
You trust. Oh man, yeah, he's someone we've had on the show a number of times, and he's a great character. And I mean, I've seen him for years now as well. So he's
awesome. He's committed to the bit. I respect him for being committed to the bit.
Yeah, definitely. Ken says get a haircut system. Oh man,
can't mess with the flow. You never mess with a man's flow.
And Chavo's not a fan of the system. He says boo that man. Man, you got to trust the system, guys. Man,
trust the system.
Yeah. Literacy says Cody O'Neill is in the chat right now, and great interview. Huh.
All right.
Cody, I hope you comment something, man. Yeah. Ken says boo.
Ken's got negative attitude. It's a Friday. How can you have such a negative attitude, Ken?
Yeah. Gotta have a good attitude on a Friday talking about good old Midwest wrestling. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Have you been keeping up with any other stuff? Like, I mean, everyone always talks about WWE and AEW, but have you been keeping up with any of that or viewing what they do?
A little bit. I kind of scroll past like their stuff on like Twitter and Instagram, so I kind of know the general understanding of what's going on, but I don't watch from week to week with a lot of regularity.
Okay. Yeah. I sometimes watch. I mean, a couple times I've watched the full AEW stuff on cable, but now it's just kind of here and there, and especially with like WWE as well, just clips and everything. So
Yeah, when I see a clip or read about a good match from a reviewer, I trust or something of that nature, I'll go and look up the match on YouTube and then watch it. So yeah, I kind of am after the fact, see what makes waves, and then I'll watch. Yeah, but I just won't sit down for a whole 2 hours or 3 hours or however long they are,
yeah,
and watch from start to finish. I'll kind of cherry pick what I want to watch.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're not the guy that's going to sit down for 3 hours of Monday Night Raw.
No, I'm the guy that will fast forward through it or on Hulu, or go through and just see what's on YouTube. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3 hours. That's a lot in general. And
it's
a
a
lot of it.
lot of time to dedicate. So I'll give them a half hour of matches that intrigue me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was just thinking about this. I was just thinking about this now, but of the jumpsuit kind of remind. I mean, it's not necessarily a jumpsuit, but the Seth Rollins and his suits is kind of similar to what you were doing with the jumpsuits. Just
I tell you
very,
what, that was ultimately kind of what I wanted to go for. But I, wasn't going to go spend, all this money on different attire from Ragsock or whatever. But Seth Rollins is doing it right. He's doing it so well. It's really entertaining to see what that is on like the ultimate top level of pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. We got Mr. Cody O'Neill in the chat. He says, ask Ryan if he sat in some cottage cheese man on the moon reference. hmm.
You're sitting some kind of cheese? Wait, no, that's grass. We used to quote that. We used to quote that movie, Man on the Moon, starring Jim Carrey. We used to quote that movie in the locker room so much around Aaron Corbin because he absolutely hates it. And so we would just quote. Yeah, we would just quote it all the time to get under his skin. So yeah, I love that movie. Good reference. Good deep pull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks for the question, Cody. Oh, here we go. We got Mr. Aaron Corbin now. He
Oh
says,
boy.
he says Ryan Cruz may be top 3 in Minnesota indie wrestling ever. Dude is so freaking good.
Oh god. Buttering me up. Well, I appreciate the kind words, but I'd settle for top 30.
Top. Yeah. What else now? Letter C says now. Quick question: How much body fat do you have, Ryan Cruz? Because you look
Oh
like you're
god.
about to run 3-4Ks back to back.
Oh gosh, I plead the fifth on that question. I'm still carrying around a little vacation weight from my Florida trip 2 weeks ago, so I plead the fifth.
I played the. Oh man, yeah, good trip to Florida.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, my wife and I went down to Fort Myers Beach and just hung out on the beach all day and ate great food and just relaxed, unplugged, and got out of the what was very terrible Minnesota weather at the time. It's obviously gotten much nicer, but that was back when we were getting snow still in the middle of April, and it was nice to get away.
Yeah. In April, I was up in Fargo Moorhead, and there was just so much snow up there. It was insane, and especially first time being up there, it was wow. So,
yeah, they got dumped on. That's what happens when you live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and the fact that it's just completely windy and fastest winds I've ever experienced.
Yep, there's nothing there to block it. Just a bunch of rolling hills, and the wind will knock you right on your ass.
Yeah. Ken says, do you still have the jumpsuit?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, you might have to bring that out sometime again.
Yeah, I'll. You never know what to expect. So it could come out next show. It could come out never again. You never know.
Yeah, I was just surprised that he brought it out during that that summer MIW event. I'm like, holy, that's got to be hot.
It
Yeah.
was a little toasty. I didn't really think it through.
Mm-hmm. I was like, that is really hot in there. So
Yeah.
yeah. Mr. Aaron Corbin says, "Tell Cruz we are due for a wind-up dance."
Yes, we are. He and I have a very specific hello dance where just it's kind of a slow burn, and then it just gets faster and faster and a little bit out of control. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it started, but that's mine and Aaron Corbin's relationship in a nutshell. Just a couple of goons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cody O'Neill says again, ask Ryan what his golf handicap is. Hmm.
Oof, getting personal.
Oh.
Last season, I finished with a 9.5. I've only golfed a 4-man scramble this year, so I don't have any numbers to support what my handicap is this year. But last year it was a 9.5.
Okay. Yeah. Ken says, can you still fit into the jumpsuit?
Was that a fat joke? Jeez, of course I can
Yeah.
fit into the jumpsuit.
Yeah. It was only a year ago, man. Ken.
Yeah, come on. I feel like I'm in
Mm,
better shape than I was then.
yeah. Florida didn't do that much to him.
Not that much. Not that much.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so you being right now, Mr. 18-year veteran, Chavo says, what advice would you give a young Ryan Cruz?
Ooh, young Ryan Cruz. Um, God, find the gym sooner. I was real lazy about my health and wellness early on in my career, and I just had such an easy canvas to have worked with to get in really good shape, and I just never took advantage of it. And yeah,
Mm,
dumb. That and save your money. Stop spending money on dumb things.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I always save money, especially when you're on your own and you're just paying for what you can, so I'm trying to get by.
Yet when you start to put things in a want versus need category, it gets really easy to stop spending so foolishly.
Yeah. Especially for a wrestler too, when you're traveling and you gotta pay for all that, and it's especially gas now. So, hmm
Yeah, I mean gas was nowhere near 4.25 a gallon back then. But yeah,
hmm
it was definitely tight monetarily back then. That's for sure.
hmm yeah, yeah. Oh, Ken said it's not a fat joke. Thanks for clarifying.
I,
mm,
yeah, I appreciate the clarification.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Um. Who do you ride with to wrestling shows if you ride with anybody?
Actually, most of my shows are all really local, kind of around the metro now. So
Oh.
I'm able to just kind of drive there to and fro and back home in my own bed at night. So that's the nice thing about doing the local shows. But back in the day when I was traveling all the time, it was
Mhm.
me, Eric Cannon, and Darren Corbin. We were always on the road together.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What were conversations like between those three with you guys?
Gosh, we touched on everything. I mean,
Mm,
we were driving out to, there was, I think, 11 or 12 months in a row where we were driving out to Philadelphia and back. There was one weekend where we calculated that we were in the car for like 52 hours of the weekend. So there was very, very few things that went untalked about in the car. So yeah, you name it, we probably talked about it.
mm-hmm. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, I
Of
can
course, a
only
lot
imagine.
of wrestling talk.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Um what is your favorite move to perform?
Ooh, that's a good question. I really like my middle rope moonsault. That one's fun to do. But I've been trying to become more creative with how I um, capture guys for the Blue Thunder power bomb. So
Oh.
that's becoming more fun to perform. Is getting more clever with different scenarios or reversals or what have you into getting into that move. So that one's becoming more and more fun to do.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Literacy says it's a perfect moonsault. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh, sh- what were some of the things that you or how many? What was your favorite thing to do in wrestling back then when you first started?
Oh gosh. I was really into chain wrestling, just the kind of the art behind it, a lot of the fluidity of it, just kind of the different escapes and hold exchanges you can do. Eric Cannon showed me a lot of like really great stuff from a wrestler named Johnny Saint, who's like the chain wrestling king of all time, and then seeing Quackenbush do a lot of the stuff, and Chris Hero back in the day was doing a lot of that as well. And Eric Cannon is, I mean, he could chain wrestle for days. So I really, really liked that when I first started.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's always fun watching chain wrestling at the. I mean, it's mainly at the beginning of matches, and you see who's
Mm-hmm.
better than the other, and try to chain wrestle each other to the extent. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. It's just such an intricate thing, and can only get more and more. The intricacies of it can only get more and more complex. It at its best, it's really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Literacy says that spinning kick. I tried it once back in the day and fell on my face. Yeah.
He has a tough time not falling on his face, so I guess I'm not surprised.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh. What do you think is the best way to get over with the crowd at events?
I guess that's a tough question. Um, I think I always I don't know who originally said this, but I've just heard it time and time again is that the best gimmicks are just kind of versions of yourself, but like cranked up. It's something about your personality. If you can really just expose that to the crowd and just kind of crank that up, people kind of somehow have this sixth sense and identify kind of that realism because it just feels more genuine. So I guess the more genuine you can be with the crowd, I would say most crowds will recognize that and hopefully appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, obviously, if you're not over with the crowd, you're not gonna get much of a response of anything, and they're just gonna kind of lose interest in that match and even the character, and it's
Mm-hmm.
never a good thing.
Absolutely. Right,
Mm-hmm.
and every crowd is different. Some crowds are into certain things, and some crowds are into things you would never expect them to be into. So it's just all about adapting and being flexible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Um, what are so when you're approached about winning a championship, what are your original thoughts when you receive that?
Now I can charge them more money. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh man.
no, it's usually just kind of a. I get more interested in what's the why behind it. I've never. I mean, championships are cool. It means that the company has a trust in you to move along their company's storylines and be a main focus for the company. So that in and of itself is very cool. So I then think like, how can I take this ball and run with it? How can I make it better? How can I make it worthy of them wanting me to have this belt? Why basically make it make sense? So yeah, that's kind of where I go into is just how can we make this a really good reason to have me with the belt? Like let's make a fun storyline with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I mean mainly for like WWE, it's been like they kind of have intercontinental or United States champions where they really don't do a whole lot, and it's just like they were I guess they were champions. So yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate how those belts seem to just kind of get passed about without real any story behind them. It's kind of a bummer sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. AEW has been doing it for a while, but AEW has been doing those the dark matches, bringing in local talent to face their talent or another local talent. Is that interest for you right now or anytime?
No, not really a particular interest of mine. I know that they're not looking for a 37-year-old guy who's been wrestling for 18 years. There's two or three of me in every town probably that they go to that can do what I can do plus more. I know that my time has passed in that arena, and even when I was probably in my prime, I still probably wasn't material for it. So no, not on my radar, but I do enjoy seeing local guys that I know getting a look at. That's always really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know I went to a dark episode in the last November when they came to Target Center. They had
Yep.
Brandon Gore, Craven Knight, Jason Strife, and just a number of other guys, and it was really cool.
Yeah, it was fun to see those guys on there. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even that was right before they filmed Rampage, and I think even seeing the dark matches was more entertaining than Rampage because you get to connect more with the Midwest and having the big time wrestling. So yeah,
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I got to see even Cannon and Rennie D
and yeah,
that
that's right.
weekend as well. That was pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I guess that brings up something now. What are your thoughts on Rennie D stepping away again?
You know, he's such a busy guy. He's got his hand in so many different things right now. It makes sense. It was cool to see him back for a little bit. I know that he loves pro wrestling. He'll always love pro wrestling. Do I think this is the last we've seen of him? I don't know. But yeah, he's a family man. He's a businessman. He's so successful right now with the businesses he's running. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I respect him for stepping away and putting his focus where it needs to be. He got to be a wrestler. He got to wrestle in the targets. Yeah, he got to wrestle, in AEW before the shows. So yeah, he did a lot. He did a lot more than most people do. So good on him.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so he's been really successful with the business and he's working out pretty much every day. He's got a huge physique now, so yeah, even
Yeah,
more
man.
than he did
And that
last
Fit Butters is delicious.
year. Fit butter. You've tried
Buy
the
yourself some Fit Butters. That stuff's delicious. I have. That stuff's
Mhm.
delicious.
Okay, yeah. Good shout out to Rennie D's Fit Butters. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, I believe I saw him saw him for the first time when he came back, returned at that same event that I saw you for MIW July 2nd. He faced Craven Knight that night. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that was his first match back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Came out with the whole Black Cat and the dark theme song, and people forgot exactly what the cheers were, but or the chants were, but it was I think they were happy to see him back, and then he comes out and he's playing a heel character. So yeah,
Yeah. Yep, spun
yeah,
it right around on him. It was awesome.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he's got so many of his from the AEW. He's got so many tagged pictures of him doing the drop kick on Sean Spears, and then I sent mine, and now he's got a printed out a drop kick of Sean Spears in his office or something. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's always something you gotta, or like, I don't know if it's an 8x10, but it's a framed picture of him doing a drop kick to Spears, and I think that's got to be a great moment for him. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a nice drop kick.
mm-hmm. Yeah. What part of wrestling do you like the most?
Gosh, from the moment my music hits till the ending bell, like the match itself, I absolutely love it. There's, like anything, there are some days you don't want to go do something. And there's been plenty of times where I've had a show one day and wake up that morning like, I don't want to wrestle today.
Mm,
You get to this show and you're just kind of all mopey and you're like, I don't want to do this today. But for whatever reason, the second your music hits, it's just like a switch that goes on and you get out there and you get to entertain a crowd and you get to wrestle. Yeah, it's just awesome. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks awesome from a fan perspective. So yeah,
it's the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah. What is your favorite Aaron Corbin story?
Ooh, my favorite Aaron Corbin story. Actually, it was just I think it was a show in Spencer, Iowa, but it was a tag match, and we literally played Foursquare. We created a Foursquare space in the locker room and like kicked everybody out of the area and just played Foursquare literally from the moment we got set up in the locker room until our music hit, and then we just went out and did our match. But we kind of just talked about it as we were playing Foursquare. We played Foursquare for like an hour and a half. So yeah, it was just awesome. Aaron was there doing it with us, so it was a fun time.
Yeah, it's got to be a sight to see Aaron Corbin and Foursquare.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was me, Darren Corbin, Aaron Corbin, and Cody O'Neill all playing Foursquare together.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I played a lot of Foursquare back in early middle school and elementary, and it's never a game. It's a game that never goes wrong, and it's always fun to play. So
yep, never a dull moment with Foursquare.
Yeah. You guys, well, I guess I don't know if you can really much in a locker room, but do you guys do like those cool moves or like a cherry bomb or whatever?
No, none of that.
Yeah. Some kids get pretty wild with that. I'm like, just slow down.
Yeah, kids are crazy.
Yeah. What is yeah, or what is a favorite Darren Corbin story? You had both the
Oh
Corbins.
gosh, there's so many there. Gosh, this one's really hard because he and I grew up together. Like we met when we were 7 years old. We went to middle school together, high school together. We went to college together. So I don't know if I could just pick out just one story. There was one time I think we were coming back from Illinois, and a deer ran out and he clipped it with his car, and it kind of flipped over our hood. And the anger promo that he cut, I couldn't even do it justice. But just this promo that he cut on this deer that, scurried away back into the woods, but he belittled this deer so bad that if it was there, it probably would have just ran into another car to just stop the torment. But when Darren Corbin gets going on a tangent, and he's one of the best on the microphone around, so you can imagine when he gets going on a tangent about something, it's nothing but hilarity ensues. So yeah, it was I think yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man.
The problem is that there's a lot of inappropriate stories that I can't share. That they've got to be they're forever sealed. So I can't. Had to find one that was PG enough rated.
Yeah. Corbin can be a little not non-PG. So
he's a firecracker, that's for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, like I've said, I've seen Aaron a lot, or saw Aaron a lot before, and then recently started seeing Darren in First Wrestling and Time Bomb, and the last Time Bomb event he faced Jordan in a street fight, and the Sandman comes out because the Sandman was there for like a meet and greet, and he comes out with the kendo stick, and Corbin didn't get the best of that. He got a couple kendo stick shots in there, so yeah,
well deserved.
Yeah, if you're gonna get a kendo stick shot, you got to get it from Sandman. So
yeah, if you're gonna get it from anyone, it might as well be Sandman.
Yeah. That place was electric, and the Sanctuary Event Center in Fargo, North Dakota. So
I bet that place was hopping.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Aaron Corbin says, "Who me?" We were talking
Yeah,
about
him.
you, Mr. Corbin. Yeah. Uh, oh, he's saying one of my favorite Cruz and Darren memories is when we played Foursquare. Oh yeah, he's talking when we played Foursquare in a locker room for 3 hours and kicked everyone out.
Yep, exactly. We totally did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys kicked everyone. Huh. Oh man. What else is there? Yeah, great story, Corbin. Uh, when a wrestler wants to try out a move for the first time, whether it's in training or in a match, what should they consider first before doing that?
Well, I would definitely recommend trying it out before doing it in front of a crowd. I mean,
Yeah.
depending on the move itself, depending on its level of danger. But yeah, I
Mhm.
would recommend at least getting the finer details of it worked out before you have it in front of a crowd. But once you feel it's ready and once you are confident enough in it, just take that same confidence when you bring it into the match and just be confident. And if the crowd doesn't react to it, that doesn't mean that they won't eventually. They just might not be used to you seeing that new move yet. So, or you using that new move, they might not be used to seeing it. So, like I said, all crowds are different. One crowd might not like your new move, but one crowd might love it. So, try it
Mhm.
out a couple of times before you trash it, but make sure it's finely tuned before you bring it in.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was pretty much similar to what we were talking, or I was talking to the problem Paul Verk before, and he was saying like, make sure you try it out, or if you're not comfortable with doing it, make sure you don't do it, and don't try to be like a cool guy being like, oh, I can do another move. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Safety first. Live to fight another day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, Corbin saying a similar thing. If they can do it well, if it's safe, if it works for them, if there's almost zero chance you hurt anyone. So yeah.
Yep. All really
Mm,
good points.
yeah, yeah. Uh, are you gonna be at the next WrestlePalooza that's happening on the 19th? Like, I know you mentioned a little bit, but
You better buy a ticket and find out.
you bet. Yeah, that's true. If you guys want to see Ryan Cruz, you guys got to find out for June 19th. So
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um. Oh yeah. Yeah. I guess. I got one more question left. Tomorrow, I believe you're on the show. It's Pro Wrestling Battleground in St. Paul, Minnesota, at the Blue Saloon. What can we expect
Yes.
from Ryan Cruz from that?
Ooh, you get Ryan Cruz and Riley Jackson going one on one.
Mm-hmm.
Potential title implications here. The winner could get a future title shot. And Riley and I have we've worked at least once before. He's a phenomenal young talent. He's got a lot going for him, and he's got a drive that is letting him travel to a lot of places and getting to wrestle in front of a lot of people. So I'm excited to work with him tomorrow. I'm excited to throw him around. I'm excited to beat him up a little bit, and I'm excited to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it should be a good match, and yeah, since I'm in the area, I'll be able to go to my first ever pro wrestling battleground show. So really
Awesome, it'll be
excited
a good
for it.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What? Yeah. I guess I could just go down a little bit of the card, but it's Brandon. All right, I'll list the superstars. Brand. Wow, Brandon Gore, the puberty again.
Yep, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Uh, We got Brandon Gore and Josh C versus Heavy Metal Gore and Darren Corbin. We got the Riley Jackson Ryan Cruz match. We got Northern Force, the Northern Force versus Big Humble versus Slasher Scene. Devon Monroe versus Kyle Pro. Eric
That's gonna
Cannon
be a good
versus
match.
yeah, yeah. yeah, I've seen Devon, and well, I mean, I've seen both of them a lot, and yeah, definitely great talent right there.
Mm-hmm.
The Eric Cannon versus Bill Williams, uh, Cal Creed versus Levy Cruz, and I actually saw Cal Creed at the beginning of his career a few years ago in 2017 when he came out of the academy, I believe. So,
Okay,
like,
nice.
saw him at the very beginning, and then he went to other territories, and then COVID, and I think that should be awesome right there, though. So,
Yeah, that'll be a good match for sure.
mm-hmm. And then, oh yeah, it's the last match. So, yeah, Pro Wrestling Battleground tomorrow, Blue Saloon, Minneapolis, or no, what is it?
That's St.
St. Paul,
Paul.
St. Paul,
Yep.
yeah, St. Paul,
Yep.
Minnesota. Yeah, yeah, looks like
Yep.
it should
6
be a good
p.m. bell
show.
time.
Yeah, that's right. 6 p.m. bell time. Adults $15, kids 12 and under $10. So, yeah.
Yeah, come on out for some live professional wrestling. You won't be disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. Ryan Cruz will be there, so you can't go wrong with that. So,
Absolutely, you're guaranteed one good match.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for being on the show, Ryan. It's awesome to, I mean, hear your stories, and we've had Corbin and Cody O'Neill on, so it's awesome to hear like all these stories come in full circle and just hear different perspectives. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well, I appreciate you inviting me on. It was fun chatting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I hope you have a nice night, and can't wait to see you tomorrow. So
All right,
yeah,
take it easy.
yeah. See you, Ryan. Life is ending.